Hey everyone, Social Solipsist here for another episode of 52 and 52, and this week I am taking a look at Strata, or Strata, whichever you prefer, I suppose, which is a fairly simple puzzle game that, much like pretty much everything else in this series, has been sitting in my inventory for a while. I don't even know why I bother to say that anymore, since it always seems to be true. I decided to pick up another puzzle game, partially just because that's what I needed this week, and partially because Critical Mass from a couple of weeks back was just such a disappointment that I felt like I needed a palate cleanser for the puzzle genre, so I could stop being put off by the idea of puzzlers. So yeah, decided to give this a try, and it's an interesting little puzzle game. It's just very, very, very simple, with a very short list of rules, but the puzzles quickly get deceptively difficult and complex. There's really a lot of depth, a surprising level of depth and complexity to the puzzles. I would most closely compare it in sort of depth to something like Sudoku, where you really are the whole puzzle is looking ahead and figuring out what you can do now and what you have to do later or figure out later, and planning your steps. Frankly, if you this game would probably benefit from the same kind of, I don't know, if you play Sudoku and you play it like me, you put a whole bunch of notes in the margins, and I think this game would benefit from a similar level of a similar level of attention to notes and things like that. You start off with a 2x2 grid. They quickly move you into 3x3. Basically, 2x2s is just for the tutorial sort of section. And like I said, gets deceptively complex. It never really adds, as far as I've gotten thus far, it doesn't add any additional rules or anything like that. The complexity all comes out of the orientation and layout of the tiles on the grid. The basic mechanic is basically just whatever ribbon you place last over one of the squares on the grid is the color that square is locked to, and you have to color all the squares and fill and put ribbons over all of the squares as well, no matter what color they are. So it's really a matter of making sure you get them laid down in the right order. It is not a weaving game, I wouldn't say, despite looking a little bit like one. But there is something to be said for just kind of at that base level, wrapping your mind around the fact that once you cross over any given square twice, it is locked down, and realizing, oh, I got to leave this one open so that it's available 5 turns down the line when I need to place the other ribbon to get it properly locked. Like I said, deceptively difficult, by the end, that I may or may not show in this footage, depending on how long this video runs. I was spending a couple of minutes at a time just staring at the puzzle, trying to get the, basic order worked out before I gave it a try to see what I needed to reorder. And there's a decent bit of, it doesn't really teach you strategies at all. It's really very reliant on you finding your own strategies. One of my early strategies was just to, isolate stripes or blocks of color that I knew I could do in a certain series or place do in a certain order. And I could overlay things in advance on top of them that wouldn't disrupt, doing that one last or something like that. I'm not going to do a great job articulating what the mechanics are like. You really have to watch quite a lot of footage to sort of get a sense of what it's like. However, I really think it's a pretty great little game. I do, it's very visually clean, not a whole lot to say about that, but if for what it is, for as simple as it is, they made it look nice. the soft background and the nice simple shapes that are shaded pleasantly and have a nice set of colors to work with. So visually, it's nothing really extraordinary, but it's very pleasant. The music I would gripe a little bit about, especially for a desktop game. If this is on mobile, and I'm pretty sure it is, I'm pretty sure I got it through Humble Bundle, and I'm pretty sure I have it on my phone, or available for my phone. For a mobile game or something like that, the music can, give or take, because you'll probably be playing it on the train or something anyway, and nobody wants to listen to the music on your game. But when it comes to, excuse the loud truck outside, sorry. When it comes to a desktop game like this, I think there's something to be said for engaging some of the other senses at the same time, at least when it comes to puzzle games. So when the only music to speak of is really it's like a single riff that there's a couple of notes that play every time you place or replace a ribbon, and then there's the same riff plays after you complete every single, at the end of every single puzzle when you successfully complete it. And besides that, there's nothing really to say about it. Admittedly, this does open it up for me to just turn off the music and listen to a podcast or something like that and just kind of relax. But that's personal preference and may not be the case for everyone. So it could do a little work there. But besides that, it's a very well put together game that, is it's a good time waster. If it is I'm going to look and see if I do have it on Android, because this could be my next, I got to get on a bus or train or whatever. Let me just waste a little time. Could be solid for that. So, one way or another, I would give it a recommendation. Yeah, give it a go for sure. Anyway, thank you guys all for watching. I've been the Social Solipsist, and I will see you guys next time.